Hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. After my little rant yesterday, I've calmed down a bit, ready to get into the transfers. Now, we're being told today that Arsenal are on the verge of making their third signing of the summer. It's not the mega name that you guys are looking for, but it's Rob Holding. Spoken about him quite a lot since the window started. The rumours been buzzing around right throughout the whole period. We're being told that he's already completed a medical, is what a lot of reports are saying, and that Arsenal have had a £2 million or £2.5 million, whichever place you read it, bid accepted by Bolton, and that he will become an Arsenal player this week. 20-year-old centre-back, and quite a surprising one this, because of the fact that we already have Callum Chambers, who's already sort of like similar sort of age, centre-back, who hasn't really got much starts. Or I know he can play right-back as well, but Rob Holding definitely looks like more of a player for the future. It's been said that he will come in to the first team squad, so will we then be getting another centre-back? I mean, a lot of speculation. We'll have to wait and see until he does sign on the dotted line, but being told today that he is on the verge of signing for Arsenal. We're also linked with a couple of other centre-backs today. Jason Denayer. Denayer is a Manchester City player. He was on loan at Galatasaray last season. Valued around about the £15 million mark. He's a Belgium international. Actually played in the Euros. He was the guy who famously got turned, or him and another defender famously got turned by Robson Kanu in that game. Robson Kanu did that Cruyff turn and took them both out of the game and scored. He was one of those defenders. He's a young guy, and as I said, on loan last year at Galatasaray. And we're being told today that he is wanted by Arsenal. Also, another centre-back apparently on the radar, Matthias Ginter. Ginter plays for Borussia Dortmund. Again, 22 years of age. Another player that Arsenal have had their eyes on for quite a while. And I remember they were linked heavily to him when he was at Freiburg, which was his previous club before joining Dortmund. And the rumours today are that Dortmund may be willing to sell him. Wolfsburg also apparently in for him, but Arsenal interested in him. He only joined Dortmund in 2014. 5-year contract. He cost them, I remember at the time, £8.5 million. And it's said that Dortmund would take about £15 million for him. So another centre-back being linked. Both of those centre-backs, pretty versatile centre-backs. And that seems to be the way now, you know what I mean? A lot of teams are liking these players that are versatile, that can play in more than one position across that back four, more than one position across the midfield. And both of those sort of fit into that bill. So is that the sort of player that Arsene Wenger's looking for this season across the back line at Arsenal? Another rumour that's out today, one that I don't like, is this one about Hector Bellerin. Now, Bellerin being linked with a move to Manchester City. Manchester City apparently prepared to pay 40 to 50 million pounds to get Hector Bellerin. Listen, it's a rumour. Maybe City may want Bellerin. You know, Pep Guardiola's probably look at Bellerin saying he'd be perfect for what they're trying to do there. Young guy, very quick, very skillful, top prospect. However, I just can't see any way Arsenal would sell, particularly at the moment when there's so much negativity around our transfer dealings as it is. To sell Hector Bellerin to Manchester City would be an utter and total disaster and would lead to meltdowns at the club. And so I don't think there's any chance of that one happening. Plus as well, then he would probably have preferred to have gone to Barcelona, which is where he came from in the first place. So I think this one's a lot of speculation. I wouldn't get too worried about it, but he is linked today with a move to Manchester City. Olivier Giroud's agent came out. Now, remember I spoke about this the other day, that Giroud was linked with a move to Napoli. It was money, £50 million plus Giroud, we were being told, might be able to get a deal done for Gonzalo Higuain. And at the time, when his agent was asked about it, he didn't exactly say it weren't going to happen. You know what I mean? He was sort of saying, well, you know, if he moved there, it'd be a new challenge, blah, blah, blah. Now, he's come out today, the agent, pretty strongly about the subject. He was speaking to the Italian media, to Tuta Murata, and he said, these are his quotes, he said, "Everything I've read about Olivier Giroud is untrue. I only said that if Arsenal want to sell, then we would see. But today he is an Arsenal player, and I'd like to stress we haven't even thought about another project, not even for 1 minute. So those rumours linking Giroud away are totally untrue. His agents are saying. Remember, I did a poll at the time, and the vast majority, I can't remember the exact amount, it's probably about, I think it's about 70% of you said you did not want Giroud to leave the club as part of any swap deal for Gonzalo Higuain. So that will please most fans. I think most fans, listen, it's not a Giroud thing. It's not that we want to get rid of Giroud. We just want a different type of striker up front there. We know what Giroud's qualities are, and we know that that's very, very suited to the Premier League. But you also need a quick, pacey striker, or somebody's just a goal poacher. Somebody's going to give you 20, 25 goals. And we know that that's not really Olivier Giroud. Gonzalo Higuain, on the other hand, is. And, still the links continue for Gonzalo Higuain. But I must say, it's starting to look very unlikely to me. That release clause of 95 million euros, which Napoli are totally insisting on, just for me, I just cannot see Arsenal pay. That's about £80 million for a guy of 28, well, coming on 29 years of age now. He'd have no resale value. Although I was thinking about this yesterday and thinking, well, maybe what they could do is you buy him for that sort of fee, you keep him for a couple of years, and then you sell him on to the Chinese league. They'd probably buy him for like 50, 60 million after that. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem like he'd have much resale. And we know how Arsenal operate. They do like things like resale value and that. They do operate off of that. So Higuain, still, I think, very unlikely. But we're going to have to wait and see. Emmanuel Giolini, our favourite guy out there, who's our favourite ITK, should I say, he put out yesterday that he feels that Higuain's going to be unlikely to happen to Arsenal. He's also said that from what he understands, there's been no contact with Mario Icardi, but he has heard that there's been further contact with Lacazette. So, well, that's what he's saying. What does he know right now? Because nothing he said so far has come to fruition. And finally, Wellington Silva. Now, we spoke about this the other day. That it was rumoured that he might be on his way back to Brazil. Well, it's been confirmed now. He has joined Fluminense. Feels a bit sorry for this guy. It didn't really work out for him. He's come to England, spent half of his time here on loan, and now he's returned back to Brazil, and I wish him all the best, Wellington Silva. We didn't even really get to see him at Arsenal at all, but wishing him all the best in his future career at Fluminense. At least he's not out of the game. Right, let's get into just a couple of comments here today. We've got thousands, by the way. Keep sending them in. Keep sending those videos as well. Don't forget, 10 seconds, no longer than 10 seconds. I want to know what striker you want. What striker do you want? And do you think we should spend at all costs, or do you think, let's be sensible? Chris Gibbs says, I don't ever leave comments, but I think it's about time to let all Arsenal fans know the deal that we spent, £34 million on Granit Xhaka, that will be our big money move this summer, and he will not spend anything over that for anyone else this summer. So that means we will not get any of the strikers we want. I don't even think we'll buy another striker at all. If we are lucky, we will see a defender come in, and trust me, it's been the same for the past 3 years that we've only bought one player over 30 million and spend about 16 million or less on the rest. Cech last year was good enough because he was a big name and every football fan around the world knows, so that was good enough for the club. I can promise you that we would not spend over £30 million on a single player for the rest of the season. I hope you're not right. He is right that over the last couple of seasons, that's true. We've only made like one big money signing and that's it. But we need a striker. I mean, I'm telling you, it will be meltdown if we don't get that striker in. The excuse is now 3 years, no striker. You couldn't find no one in 3 years. It's just not going to wash with Arsenal fans. It's not. And let me just do this one as the last one because time's running. Raptor Fiat says, we don't need a director of football, as what I was suggesting yesterday. He said, we need a dictator. I think we might already have a dictator. Oh dear. Listen, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my brand new channel, Man Like Robbie. They've got a transfer video over there called Transfer X, which is going to give you a rundown of the 10 most expensive signings so far this summer. You may be surprised who's in there at number 2. So make sure you check that video out, and we'll be back around about the same time tomorrow.
It's a common question that everybody was asking. Ask Santi, does he know if any more strikers are coming in? That's what everybody's asking.